Elon Musk, the world's richest man and the new owner of Twitter, is shaking up the social media company. Last week, he posted a video on Twitter entering the company's headquarters carrying a sink, writing, quote, "Let that sink in." A lot has happened and a lot has sunk in since then. In just under a week, Musk has already fired top executives and dissolved the company's board of directors. He's also rolled out plans for users to pay $8 a month to remain verified. That's the blue check mark. And I want to walk through some of this with Charlie Warzel. He's a contributing writer at The Atlantic, and he is the author of its newsletter, Galaxy Brain, which is about technology, media, and big ideas. So, Charlie, among all of those things that Elon Musk has done, or maybe even some of the things we didn't list, what do you think is the most important in terms of his first moves at Twitter?
Well, I think the biggest thing by far is the reductions to staff that are coming. I believe they're slated for the end of this week, but it seems to be about a 50% reduction in the workforce. And that is just as a business decision, a massive thing to do to a company, especially a company like Twitter that is a complex social network that is corresponding with governments across the world, has a lot of servers and things like that to keep up, and has like a very deep policy and content moderation apparatus that helps kind of keep things civil and safe for lots of people on the platform.
You wrote last week in The Atlantic how Elon Musk could actually kill Twitter. Where is he on the path that you laid out?
Well, I think what's important is I asked a bunch of experts and people who have worked at Twitter at different times, and a couple of people who are there now. And the first thing they said is really, there's a lot of fears that he's going to like flip a switch and destroy the social network overnight. That's pretty unlikely, as we've seen, even though it's been a tumultuous first week. The platform actually hasn't made a lot of substantive changes yet. But the things that people are most worried about are these rather boring, not sexy, prosaic things that might happen with staff reductions, right? I'll go to the one that sort of rings out the most is the trust and safety team. And that might have a bit of an Orwellian name, but it's actually a very standard thing in social networks and tech companies. They are the ones who help come up with content moderation policies, but also a lot of compliance with outside government entities. They are the ones who deal with law enforcement requests from people, all across the country, or all across the world, rather. And there are a lot of governments that are, trying to unmask dissidents or trying to get, anonymous accounts unveiled to them. And those are very, very serious things. When you think about having a strict organization, trust and safety, we could actually have lives at risk if people go.
You take the larger view in the writing that you do, and so you also wrote a piece that said, welcome to geriatric social media. Social media isn't dying, it's changing. Is what Elon Musk is doing, as idiosyncratic as it is, part of a larger shift that you see in social media, which is so much a part of our lives now?
Well, yeah, I think social media is obviously broadly changing. Twitter has always been an interesting piece of the social media, economy, because of the fact that it is so much smaller than a lot of the platforms, but it has this outsized cultural and obviously political influence. But when you look at platforms like, let's say, TikTok and YouTube, and really TikTok is the shining example right now of an ascendant social media platform. It's very, it's very different. It's this short form video. People are behaving in a very dynamic way there, and you're seeing just kind of an explosion in a way that something like Facebook went through. Now, Facebook is obviously having these huge struggles. So I think what we're seeing is honestly an ascendance of the short form video where everyone kind of gets to do what you do, right, and have their little graphics and green screens behind, and it's a very evocative, powerful, and engaging way to do social media. And then you can look at Facebook and Twitter as sort of these text-based platforms. Right. And sadly, as a writer, the tech stuff is becoming a little less important in the social media ecosystem.
Well, we're going to have to end it there, Charlie. But as a writer and somebody who wrote a great book called Out of Office, I'll bring you on next time. We can talk about the work from home revolution, if it in fact exists. But thanks so much for being with us for now.
Thanks for having me.